Hello, you're welcome to the show. This is Health Matters brought to you by SoftG TV Network. My name is Akpati Theresa, and with me is
Atane Samuel.
and
Victor Agiji.
thank you so much for joining us on today's episode of Health Matters.
You're welcome.
Now, on today's show, we're going to be talking about why young people die. What is the reason behind their death, and why is it increasing over time? We'll also talk about possible solutions and preventions that can help to reduce the number of deaths among young people. We also want to create awareness. We also want to let you know the things that are currently happening in the society today and how you can avoid those things so you can live a long and healthy life. Let's go for a short break. When we come back, we'll dive deep into the reasons behind the death of young people. You are welcome back to the show. We are still talking about the reason behind the death of young people, the reason behind the increasing death of young people in this generation in Nigeria today. Let me say in Nigeria, right?
Yeah.
Okay, so what are the major reasons behind the death of young people?
There are many reasons actually.
Yes,
But number
several
one reason
reasons.
is drug abuse and overdose.
Exactly.
Yeah, and
Exactly.
another reason I can say is depression.
Yes. So now let's talk a bit about drug abuse and overdose. Why do you think it's so common among young people? Why is it not among adults? Although adults still abuse drugs,
And
but
alcohol.
not as much as
Yeah.
the teenagers and the young people do. Why do you think young people really use drugs?
Yeah, because it's accessible. It's something that is not very expensive.
Yeah.
So they can easily get it. And when you have friends that are doing what you're doing, you will definitely
Yes,
do what they are doing.
exactly.
So, and these days, I think we deal with drugs too much because we believe that drug will help us achieve what we want. Because
Yes.
most people, they like using drugs
Yes,
to do what
yes,
they want to do.
and many of those young people are really involved, in entertainment, and because they are seeing other people do it, they just want to just feel among and start doing those things. But these things can actually cause death.
Cause death, yes.
Going along on this show, we'll talk about chronic and acute diseases, and I think that this drug abuse is also a chronic illness because
yes.
it's something that it doesn't happen suddenly.
Suddenly, yes.
But over time, that drug they use or the marijuana that they continuously take, the smoke just affects their lung, but they might not notice it in the
Yes,
beginning.
yes.
In the beginning, they're just having fun and a time for pleasure and all of that. They don't know that hey,
It's coming.
a day is
A day is
coming.
coming.
Something is going to eat them.
Judgment Day.
Until you actually avoid and say to myself, you know what, I need to live a healthy life.
Yes.
They continue like that, continue in that path, continue in that line, they're going to end up, in
And
a
it's
very,
just
very
like
bad
people
situation.
choose to live life, like they just choose to live the life of, how will I put it? We have healthy life,
Yes.
but they just choose to live the life that will make them sick.
Mm.
Because why will you just be taking what is wrong? And what the funny thing is that people that are producing those cigarettes, they will still write on it, like they will warn them on it, but you still take it. No, imagine, it's just kind of,
Okay, now, if you know it is bad, then why did you produce it in the first place?
Yeah,
I don't
because
get it.
of money.
Yes,
Most
so
people will still
you can't
get
produce
it.
something and now say smokers are liable to die
die
young. So
young.
why did you allow the importation at the first place?
You see.
Why did you allow the production at the first
First
place?
place.
Exactly.
So-
Because they are also making their money from it.
So make money and will make humanity die. Yeah, that's it.
Okay, so now let's go to our second reasons why young people die.
Yeah, the second reason, we have suicide.
Yes.
Young people commit suicide these
a
days.
lot. And now, what's the reason behind that suicide?
Like I said, depression. I think
Depression.
Depression, yes.
Yeah, so let's even start from depression. Depression is a great deal that affects young people today. I mean, we see so many people on social media and they are battling with mental health issues. Serious mental health issues. There's so many celebrities who had come out at some point to say, you know what, there's this time where I had serious mental health issues. I mean, celebrities like Mr. Ibo, Toke Makinwa. And there was a part of the show when we mentioned Real Worry Pikin saying she battled depression as a result of she was owing several people. She was in debt and she really wanted to take our life. And currently, of course, there's been rumors that Genevieve Nnaji is also going through a lot, and really, even till now, I don't think we've heard anything from her. Then there is T Bliss, there is Mr. Ibu, a whole lot of people battling mental health issues. And funny enough, many of them do not know that they're going through this.
Yes.
They do not know, because the truth is, you can be swimming in the water, you know, and you know that the air that is inside you can only last for like 20 seconds, but you still keep diving in it, and when it's like remaining 5 seconds, that's when you now start battling for air. And if you do not actually tell yourself, you know what, let's go up and really get oxygen, you just find out that you're just drowning. Now it's still the same situation. There are so many people on social media today. They know that if they continue in this line in the next 2-3 years, their life will not be the same. If you notice these symptoms, especially among your friends, that's why it's good to check up on them. You never know which of them is battling mental health issue. You never know which of them is actually going through a lot. So it's always nice to just check up on them, try to reach out to them and get to know, what is going on. So first of all, let's talk about how can we prevent depression among young people.
I think the main reason how we can prevent depression is talking to somebody.
Yes, there is no drug.
Yes, there's no drug. That's the
For
word. There's
depression,
no drug for depression.
yes.
So the best thing is to just talk to somebody. That's the person that will not judge you.
Yeah, someone that wouldn't, exactly,
And
someone that won't judge you.
The thing is, you keep yourself away from what will make you depressed.
Yes, from triggers.
Yes, so you know when you keep yourself away from things like that, it will be hard for you to be depressed. You won't get depressed easily. For example, social media, that one is the first thing.
Thank you.
Social media make youths of nowadays, you just see someone with nice dress, you'll be like, wow, I'll really get, you're not working. And you want to get this
You are not doing anything sensible.
You're not doing anything, and you want to get this thing. So how do you want that to come? That's when you now start praying for miracle, and it doesn't work that way.
And it doesn't work that way. You need to grow to that
Yes.
particular place. You know, it's nice for you to see many people on social media and say, you know what, I want to be like this person, I want to have what this person have, but try to look at that thing in a very positive light, not with a negative mindset.
Yes.
See it as, this person is doing this, I'm inspired, don't worry, I'm working on myself. I
It's
will
better
get
you
there.
just get
Yes,
motivated.
rather than you say, God when.
Yes, that's the main. That's the goal.
And then you begin to ask yourself, you begin to now question the hand of God in your life.
Yes.
You begin to question, so since all these days I've been working, how come I've not gotten to this point? How come I've not even seen this kind of blessing or miracle? Meanwhile, you don't even know how that person got the car.
Yes.
You don't know how the person got the money. I'm very sure if the person actually sits you down and tell you, you open your mouth, you'll be shocked. Because it might not even be something that you can do.
Do yourself, yeah.
Might be something that you can do. So it's also important to try to cut back on social media.
Yes.
If you know that social media is the
Triggers
cause,
you.
yes, it's what triggers that depression. Take a break. Calm down, stay away from social media for the meantime and try to get yourself. Don't drown in it first and then start looking for solution. No, now that you know that, okay, social media, and try to also, if you can, unfollow those people that make you depressed. Unfollow and start following positive people that will inspire you, people that will make you get yourself back,
Yes.
know. Another thing is also exercise, and try to reduce stress, reduce the things that stresses you.
Exercise.
How important is exercise?
Well, exercise is very, very important because the more you give yourself to exercise, you find yourself energized.
Yes, you find yourself really happy, but sometimes it can be difficult.
Yeah, no,
Like
no,
going
never
to the
said
gym.
Even when you refuse to do exercise,
Yes.
this God is so wonderful. When you wake up in the morning, you stretch. Automatical stretching.
Wait.
Yes.
Okay, stretching is not the exercise. Yes, if it's about stretch, I can stretch for Africa.
No.
I can really stretch.
No, you stretch. When you go to work, there are some people that normally we do trek now. You get so yes.
That is part of exercise.
It's
But
part
you
of
need to
exercise.
jog. No, you need to
But
just jog.
Trekking is not. See, there's one between trekking and taking a walk. So let's be specific here. Trekking is where you don't have transport fare. You are trekking,
Hey!
but you are taking a walk.
Yeah.
You can call that part of exercise. You're just taking a walk.
Yes.
So
For
let's know
some
the
people, but
difference.
the truth is,
You can see stress and be
there's
depressed.
exercise that really there are exercises that you need for yourself.
Yes,
Yeah,
yes, sure.
Not
That's
everybody
true.
can do the same exercise and say, okay, I'm working. Some of you are just reducing. Yes,
You don't do it on your own.
in
You
the
register
gym.
or
Yes.
you go with someone that
And
knows more about exercise.
talk to the person. What can I do? What are the exercises that really suits me at this point? You know,
Yes.
to increase. You know, the places I want to increase. If you're a lady, increase in the right places. You know, certain exercise. You know. So now let's talk about cutting away from toxic people
Yes.
I think that's one of the
to prevent depression.
Yes.
you need to surround yourself with people that will motivate you.
Yes.
People that will support you the best positively.
Yes.
You get to surround yourself with those people. Trust me, you'll be more depressed.
You be
more
exactly you be
depressed.
and people that really, you know, you see that those people that are actually talking down on you, they can be close, people really close, they can be close relative. You know, there are certain times, especially I remember the period where we're always writing jam and all of that. In fact, those periods actually still exist where those things are triggers. There are certain times where you just finish from secondary school, you stay at home for 1 year, 2 years. You'll be feeling somehow, and then sometimes it could even be your friends or your mom and telling you, so you not go to school, so you not do this, you can't pass your exam, you can't. Those periods are actually periods of depression.
Yes. Yes.
And sometimes even when you finish graduating and then you stay and you're looking for a job, the worst people can tell you, you'll be so hurt. It takes God and grace to come out of those kind of things. And another time is, let's say, when you're a girl and then you've not gotten married at age 30, 35 and all of that, and people are really talking at pay.
Yes.
It
That's
takes
also
God.
part
And
of
now,
depression.
even when after you got married and the marriage really couldn't work out, you now come back to your parents' house.
That's
Those
the worst
periods. Yes. Exactly. And or when you become a divorcee and people are really just people can say words too.
Yes.
And words
And
go
especially
a long
those
way.
that don't like you.
Yes, those that
Or
don't
those
like
that
you.
are
And
praying
even
for your
sometimes,
downfall.
even those that like you, they might not know how to communicate.
Yes.
I
Yes.
think communication too is part of it.
Yes,
because
communication
people don't really know how to
matters.
communicate.
Yes, certain people don't know how to communicate.
Yes.
They don't know. They know what they want to tell you, but they don't know how to put
communicate
it. So instead of them to sit you down and talk to you with love, they rather just tell you
Yes,
or
that's the
insult and
point.
just stop.
Love.
And that is real. Yes,
That's the
you
point.
should try to always communicate love at all times. At all times, because these words have consequences. The person might not be able to tell you. The person that maybe is looking, maybe the girl is actually looking for a husband, might not be able to come and tell you that, oh, this is the situation she's in, or this is what is going on with her. She might not be able to break it down and tell you, but all you're just doing is just judging. You're a bad wife. You're a no. People do not deserve that. And even this period of ASU strike is another. This one is
Another
is
way of
another
depression.
tussle. It's
Well,
an
not for us
another
today, though.
tussle. It's another tussle. First, some students are actually going through it. Even some students that even have carryover, they also go through depression,
Yes.
like deep depression. Now let's talk about suicide. You know, depression is
It's
a
a major
major
factor.
yes. When it comes to suicide, it's a major. So, what other
Yes.
reasons do you think people?
Okay.
What other reason do you think is the reason why people commit suicide?
I guess what I think
Mhm.
financial instability even.
Mm.
So this alone can cause some people to be
Yes,
so depressed.
yes.
And we all know some businesses are crashing.
Yes.
Very true.
Many things are happening and there's no opportunities and stuff. You got to a point some people are even traveling outside the country.
Yes.
Just to,
Exactly.
like,
Exactly.
And
Even
some people are
lecturers are traveling outside the
and
country.
they're-
Doctors are traveling outside the
Bankers.
country.
yes,
Many
and they are not
of
going
them.
into they are not most of them are not going through the right channel. They either
Yes.
go by the sea and stuff.
Yes.
Yes.
They just end up dying
Dying
and
on the
stuff.
road.
Yeah.
So I think financial instability has been one thing that really affected people so much that even caused them to go into depression.
Exactly.
And most of them, they just feel there's nobody I can talk to, nobody can provide solution for me. They just feel then death is the next thing. for them.
Yes. So that's why it's important to try to manage your finances. Try to manage your finances.
Another thing
Work
is-
towards it. Don't just say, oh, I'm saving, and you don't have a plan, as to how you are saving. And are you even watching yourself? Are you actually saving consistently?
And it depends, there are
Mhm.
some people that are married, they
Yes.
have children.
Mhm.
So you can't just be saving when you need the money to do
Yes.
what you want to do.
Exactly.
So
when about what you said, I think saving itself, no matter how will I put it, no matter
how
many-
difficult the
difficult
times
it
are
is always advisable to
to
save.
save.
that's why
yes.
it's better you save before you marry.
No, even
Sometimes you might not be able
Yes.
to save all the savings before you get
Yes,
married.
but at least
you know.
some.
Yes.
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 Because
Yes.
it can help. Because after marriage,
And try to also marry the right person that can encourage
Encourage
savings.
you,
Yes. There are some women actually, right from their own they don't like saving. They just
Yes, they just like spending,
spending
just
money.
and spend anyhow, spend any way as far as the money is there, and that's really a wrong way to
And
live.
their words are the life is short. Let me enjoy it before.
Enjoy it while it lasts,
While it
because
lasts,
you never know.
Because you never know.
And that is really wrong. That is so wrong. It's important that you save. And another reason for suicide, I would say, chop breakfast.
Yes.
Ah.
That's the break. Oh.
When a girl or lady chops breakfast, it happens. It happens, but it's not the end of the world.
Yeah.
It's not the end of the world. Breakfast is so there is no drug that can actually heal a broken heart.
No drug at all.
What are you guys saying? No drug to heal breakfast.
A broken heart, like
Broken
when
heart.
you're actually broken for someone you've been together for five,
It's like that.
five,
that
7
word. That word.
years.
Breakfast.
Breakfast. I think that's the main word because break up is sounding. It's still sounding
It's
Jewish.
No, you understand? That's the common name we have today. Even when I
Breakfast.
use it to sing. So
Breakfast is when your heart is shattered. Like.
To me, when people experience a breakup, it's like a tearing, because you can't actually just break a bond. You have to tear the bond, and it's so painful when you tear things apart. And because that's when you now have a person's heart really bleeding, because the heart is bleeding, and it's just, and you can't just forget that person.
That means there's difference between breakup and tear things apart. Because breakup can just come for the relationship. Like you can break up with someone, but when you've merged already
in
with the
marriage,
person,
yes,
that one is a different. That we can't call that one break fast.
Breakup.
Because that breakup, everybody can just get you annoyed, and you know, and you
Yes.
guys can just be, even your friends, you can just divide yourself. But that's
it's really deep, because
That one
you
is very
bonded
deep.
with that person. You and that person are now one, and those things actually causes suicide. Let's go for a short break. When we come back, we'll talk about sicknesses and diseases as a reason for the death of young people in Nigeria. Stay with us. You're welcome back to the show. We are still talking about the reasons why young people die. So now let's talk about sicknesses and diseases. Why do you think people really die of diseases these days? Is it because of the food they eat? Is it genetic? Like most of diseases currently happening.
Yeah, people die today because of diseases. Some of them, they don't even know that they are sick.
Ignorance.
That's the first thing. Ignorance.
Yes, ignorance is still part of it.
So
exactly.
they don't know that they are sick, and some of them, they don't do medical checkup. You get. So that's one alone can explain why people die very young.
Yes.
At a very early age.
Yes. And still, like we mentioned earlier, taking drugs, alcohol over time can also bring sicknesses.
You also have
and
chronic
diseases.
diseases.
Yes, chronic disease, exactly. Still under those
Yes,
drugs, exactly, because they are not aware that disease are actually inside them. They just, all of a sudden it just happens like that. Then what about accidents? Accidents, of course, they are not human made.
Yeah.
They just,
But even at that, I think
it can be avoided.
yes, because the young adult actually, or the youth actually, will take unnecessary risk.
Yes.
Let's just take the instance of crossing the expressway when they have a pedestrian bridge.
Exactly.
You cross it. And they taking alcohol without knowing the chemical compound in it. They
Yes,
just
mix
it
them.
and
Yes,
then-
mix
Exactly.
different
so all those
things.
things are part of the risk they do take, and this results to them dying at a very young age.
Yes, and then drinking and driving
Yes,
recklessly, you know.
Or smoking and driving.
Yes, smoking and driving. So how can we prevent these diseases? What are the ways by which young people can prevent diseases?
According to what he said,
Yes,
they don't do medical checkup.
very true.
So the best way to prevent this is to do periodic medical checkup.
Mhm.
But not necessarily be every time.
Every time,
Or
yes.
if it's like 3 times, once in 3 months.
Yes.
Let's just say annually at least. You should do a
Full medical
yes.
checkup, know what's happening in
Happening.
your body. Also, food choices, right?
Yes.
How does the person eat? How do you eat? What are the kind of food I eat? Are you the one that is always eating junks morning, afternoon, night? Or you don't even take fruits? You know, you're not taking care of yourself. It's important to intentionally take care of yourself. It's important. So, what other ways
Now,
can we?
other way to prevent diseases, sometimes sicknesses, they do penetrate to our body by the like by the how will I say it. We have for example, our nose, our mouth, our ear, and our body. There are ways that disease can penetrate. So there's a way we need to take care of ourselves.
Yes, personal hygiene.
Personal
So if you don't take care of yourself, at that moment you will get sick. For
Yes.
example, you maybe give that example, and you're there. Someone is smoking bad thing out. You're there inhaling what
You are
the person
also
is.
smoking.
So at that point you get sick.
Exactly.
That's why when
Very,
COVID-19
very
came
true.
out, they asked us
Yes.
to tie our nose.
Personal hygiene is very
Yeah.
important. Washing your hands,
Hands,
washing
that's
the foods that you cook, buying the foods in clean places, and of course, even where you eat the fast food,
I want to ask
homemade
something
food
to
is
what-
also very, very good.
Very good. I want to
Yes.
add something to what you said about the food we eat.
Yes.
Sometimes our body get allergic to some food actually.
Yes,
Yeah,
and you
so-
know that you're allergic to
Yeah.
that food.
Even
Yes.
even aside that, sometimes we don't even know that food is the one causing whatever it is.
Yes.
Yes.
So I think one thing is like studying your body system.
Yes.
Know what your body accepts and it does not.
Not
So I
upset.
think that was one thing we should at least know.
Yes, know and try to also reduce. Then also go for medical checkup, check cholesterol level, check blood pressure, check sugar level, because it's so important. You're certain older people who are just taking things, and by the time they are now diagnosed with diabetes, they now discover sugar is too much. Now to start, eating nice food, saltless food, when you could have started a long time ago.
And most times when you now start eating all those salty food and all those things, it might not really be
It's not even
effective.
yes,
Because
yes. It has
it has
gone. It
gone
has
beyond.
yes. Like the sicknesses has really eaten deep into the person's system. It has eaten so
And one
deep.
problem we do have, especially when it comes to the health aspect, is most times if you feel any kind of feeling, maybe you're feeling feverish or something,
Yes.
we don't do
Test.
Full medical
yes,
checkup.
yes,
Yes.
we just
Test.
believe that okay, this is what's wrong with me.
This was
We
wrong.
just go and get
Yes.
drugs.
And make
And most
assumptions.
times these drugs affects us because we don't even know the dosage,
Yes.
because we don't know what's really wrong with us. We just
Or the exact
assume-
one.
Yes. Just assume that okay,
yeah.
this is what it is, and just
Example,
take
Just go
it.
and take something like
Paracetamol.
just,
It's always the drug for
yeah,
headache.
it's as if paracetamol is just
Yes, like the
normal
But
best
I
way.
discovered that even some people just take diclofenac, or some people just take different. They don't even ask, is this particular painkiller good for me, or you just take it. And meanwhile,
And
for some
that's
people,
true.
it's not even good for them.
Mm.
In fact, even some girls who go through their menstrual period and menstrual pain, some of them don't even know the drug to take. They just take any drug. Oh, which drug did you take? Okay, let me take that one. Over time, they are actually giving themselves diseases.
Yes, because the body
And many
system
don't
is
know. So
different.
sometimes you need to go to your doctor and ask, okay, this is how this menstrual pain is. Okay, what am I supposed to use? For some people, even just hot water works, but they will still go and take those toxic drugs. Honestly, there are certain like natural food that actually help to reduce the pain, but because you do not know, honestly, what people don't know actually can kill them. Yes, and we also want to just shed more light on little topics. First, chronic and acute diseases.
Yes.
So I'd like to explain that a bit. So chronic diseases, like I said earlier, chronic diseases that have existed over time and can actually cause death. but they've been there over time. But sometimes the person might be aware of it and try to manage it. Sometimes the person might not be aware of it and not manage it at all. Why acute diseases are diseases that last for just a short period of time and happen suddenly, and sometimes can actually lead to death. Yes. So some people, some diseases they have are acute, some are chronic, but the two of them can actually lead to death. But sometimes acute doesn't really lead to death. Then domestic violence also can cause depression and death. Depression and death.
And we have case study in Nigeria here,
yes.
So
Case study in Nigeria, and it's really a painful thing. As in, you see so many girls say, "Oh, I love him, but it's beating me. It doesn't matter. Stay there." You need medical help. You really need medical help, but you need to just try to just chase knowledge. Try to understand. Okay, this thing I'm doing, is it right? Also, if you're going through a lot, just seek medical help. Seek medical attention. If you have mental health issues, going through depression, talk to the right person. Don't just talk to people who are going to judge you and all of that, but seek medical attention, because your solution can just be at your fingertips. Thank you so much for joining us on this show. This is Health Matters, brought to you by Subject TV Network. My name is Akwati Theresa.
And I'm Atali Samuel.
Victor Agidi.
Thank you for joining us. I'll see you on our next episode of Health Matters. Bye for now.